Next stage is, is to be a great delegator and not try to do everything yourself.
Technology has been beating everything. So what actually is correlated wealth is using tools before most people are.
I'm David, welcome to Wise Vibes. If you want to accomplish massive goals in the shortest amount of time, you came to the right place. In this video, I'm going to share with you 8 productive habits by 8 different brilliantly successful people. Let's start off with number 1, Set Boundaries by Eric Thomas.
I have a ritual where even if you're my closest friend, I have boundaries. So just because it's my company, it doesn't mean I can take calls all day.
Right.
I have boundaries. So you can't call me at a certain time. Why? I'm working. So if I'm on the phone all day, and I'm saying this to entrepreneurs, because one of the gaps, and we'll talk about this later in the show, but you got to find the gaps. And one of the gaps with entrepreneurs is that they feel like because they own their day, they can spend it like they want to. You cannot spend it like you want to. So if you were working for IBM or you were working for Ford, whoever you're working for, you couldn't be on the phone all day at a major corporation talking on the phone. So why do you allow yourself to talk on the phone when it's your business? Matter of fact, it's yours. You should make sure there's no phone calls going on because it's your business. So one of my rituals is when I get started, there are no interruptions. Wow. When I get started, I don't care if it's my wife, my children, they know that from a certain time frame, I'm going all in. And I can't go all in answering the phone. I can't go all in watching TV. I can't go in with the distraction. And so some entrepreneurs are like, why am I not blowing up? Because you're not in abstraction. You don't have that moment of your day. I don't care if it's 2 hours, 4 hours, where you shut the entire world out. No Twitter, no Facebook, nothing.
No Instagram, which we love the most.
No Instagram.
We love that Instagram.
But just for 2 hours, I'm going in, and then once I come out, then we can do Instagram. And I'll be honest, your content probably would be stronger if you had that time of isolation, of solitude, where you give yourself a chance to think, you give yourself a chance to go in, and when you go in, you go 120%. So yeah, that's
I like
my
that.
ritual.
And number 2 by Ty Lopez is Use the Right Tools.
Guys like Warren Buffett, I mean, he says, he loves quoting that one quote. I don't know the exact quote, I should have memorized it, but he goes, they say that hard work won't kill you, but I don't want to take the chance. I think that's how it goes. And he quotes that, and he says, I pretty much sit around all day looking for opportunities. And since 1965, I think, 51 years ago, they've made 25 good decisions that have made almost all their money. So on average, every 2 years, they were able to find, so what he spends all his day doing is reading and looking, being observant. So I do think you have to be aware, but hard work is very uncorrelated with wealth, and it will get you, it's the biggest, so I was talking about, there's a lot of people out there giving business advice about working hard, a lot. There's not one, there's some more than others, but Alex Mayer says his theory, he calls it, what did he call it, little mind theory or ant theory, that basically it's a primitive impulse that if you say to people, you know what, working hard is gonna get you far, it jives with our primitive mind because 50,000 years ago, it was true. There was no technology. The man who, hunted with a spear, but even then, the one who had a spear versus the one who just used his hands still won. Technology has been beating everything. So what actually is correlated with wealth is using tools before most people are. So you want to look for tools. To me, social media is just a tool, just like a caveman who had his bare hands versus a caveman who came up with his first spear. Or if you study history, you had the Bronze Age and things like that. And during those ages, well, look at the Incas. Have you ever read the story? Not Pizarro, but who was the one who went to the Incas? Not Magellan. Well, one of them, it was 30 soldiers that beat 100,000 Native Americans. They had horses and armor, and they decimated a whole, it was like 25 men. That's how, if business is war, right? You want to be like that. Let other people have 100,000 people.
And if you're getting any value out of this video so far, hit the like button down below. Number 3 is Get Rid of Your Phone by Mel Robbins.
There is one habit that I have adopted in the last 3 years that has fundamentally changed me as a business person. And it has also changed my ability to manage my emotions so I don't get hijacked. I do not allow my phone in the bedroom. I know the research. Deloitte just did a study based on phone use alone, and 33% of people are reading emails in the middle of the night. I know that if you go to bed and the phone is right next to you, right? So you go to bed because you need your phone. You know, somebody might need you, and you sleep. You know, if this is right here and it's not closed and the blue light is on, they've done studies where they have people at a table and the researcher will put their phone on the table, not even my phone, the researcher's phone, and the brain lights up like crazy, just with the presence of a phone. The research around the phone and sleep is so stunning that if you were to adopt one radical thing today other than the 5-second rule, try putting your phone outside your bedroom, turn off the bzz, 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 so you don't hear it. Tell people who need to reach you to call you. My kids, I have a kid in college, a kid who's, high school, kid in middle school. If there's an emergency, call me. There is nothing happening on your phone at 2 o'clock in the morning that's important. But if you allow yourself to become a tool of this is supposed to be your tool for selling, your tool for communicating, and we're all becoming the tool. Here's the other thing, common sense-wise, that I want you to understand. You wake up, the alarm goes off. What do? Whoop! So you're not even vertical, and you're reading emails. And what is in these emails? Other people's crap. If you don't have boundaries with this puppy, it's going to impact sleep, it's going to impact how much money you make, it's going to impact how much self-control you have. And so when I put this thing outside the bedroom and I wake up, I walk over to where the phone is, it's plugged into my bathroom, I turn it off, I don't look at it yet. I give myself 5 minutes. 5 minutes before I tune into the world to actually tune in up here and say, what's the one thing I'm going to get done today that really matters to me? If you're the kind of person that feels like you don't have control over your day, that your day gets hijacked, that you can't get to the priorities, that you're always behind the ball, this one planning thing will change your life. No phone in the bedroom, turn it off when the alarm goes off, 5 minutes, 5 lousy minutes, 5 lousy minutes before you tune into the rest of the world. And if you've got the kind of job where you've got to check it, get up 10 minutes earlier. You have control over this stuff, and it is so important that you take it seriously now because you're living at the slowest moment of your entire life.
Number 4 is follow the 80-20 rule by Brian Tracy.
If you have 10 items to do on your list, 2 of them will be more important than the other 8 put together. You can do this by asking yourself, if I were to be called out of town for a month, what is the top 20% of my tasks that I must accomplish today? By knowing how to prioritize tasks and working from a list, you increase your productivity and output by 25 to 50% each day. After you've made your effective to-do list, make sure that you create time blocks dedicated to each task. Keep in mind that new tasks and responsibilities will come up continually. Phone calls will come in. Emails will need to be dealt with, and meetings will need to happen. The key to working smarter is also setting aside chunks of time for those unexpected tasks that will come up. Scheduling your time this way reduces stress and makes you feel in charge of your life.
Richard Branson with Learn to Delegate.
Next stage is to be a great delegator and not try to do everything yourself. Try to find people who are better than you all the time. Try to find people who are better than you to put you out of business effectively. So, whatever you're spending all your day doing, try to find someone who's better than you to do that, to replace you at it, so that you can go off and think about the next big picture. An entrepreneur is not a manager. I mean, an entrepreneur is somebody who is great at conceiving ideas, starting ideas, building ideas, but then handing over to really good managers to manage the businesses. The moment you've got more than one business, you can't be hands-on doing everything. If, on the other hand, you are you're not really a great entrepreneur. But
Discipline Your Mind by Tony Robbins.
And people meditate and try to not think thoughts. Show me somebody that's done that successfully, consistently. They're full of shit. Okay? Everybody, the mind thinks thoughts. But here's the distinction. If I told you 100 years ago we were going to fly to the moon and back, you would have called me a lunatic. That's where the term comes from. And people still use it, and it doesn't make any sense because a lunatic is somebody who thought we go to the moon and back and we've done it, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where the term comes from. That's where it comes from. But if I would have told you 100 years ago that there's going to be a box in your pocket and you're going to pull this thing out, you're going to hit a couple buttons, and then it's going to capture invisible waves that are drifting around the earth and bring the waves in, and you're going to see somebody on the other side of the earth and you're going to talk to them, you're totally nuts. Thoughts are those invisible waves. And when you use your body in a certain way, if I sit like this, I'm going to tap into a different channel of those waves than if I'm sitting like this. Kind of like a TV set. If I turn one channel, it might be a comedy channel. I'm going to see a lot of laughter. Turn another one, it's a horror channel. Turn another channel, it's a romance channel. This is what changes which of those waves you touch in. So if you can start to realize that your thoughts that you think are your thoughts, there's nothing unique about your thoughts. They've been around for thousands of years. You're just tapping into them because of what you're doing with your body that makes you either fearful or passionate or courageous or whatever you're feeling. As you go in those states, you get different thoughts. So what I want people to see is that learn how to just see those thoughts go by. Learn how to be entertained by those thoughts. Because I have crazy thoughts, but what I've gotten good at is going, look at that crazy thought. That's not me, that's the mind, not your mind. Because if it's you, how do you change you? Pretty hard. But I really, truly know I haven't heard a thought come out of you that's original. You've called them your thoughts, but they're not. You've stolen them. They've been around forever. When you see that, it's easier to let go of them. And letting go of those thoughts is one of the ways that you free yourself. And again, the more you do it, just like a muscle, you get better and better and better. And all of a sudden, the shit that used to make you crazy or stressed out, I'm like, how many things have you worried about that never came to be? And some people, their life is good, so they worry about other people, so they're never not worried, right? So it's really just a pattern. If you want wealth, real wealth is not just money, it's emotion. It's like, what are we really after in money? You don't want money, you don't want pieces of paper with the pictures of deceased notables on it. You want what you think money will give you. You think it'll give you freedom or security or stability or love. It won't give you love, it'll get you sex, it won't get you love, money won't, right? So really what you're after is the emotion. And so what I want people to get is the emotion they want now, and all it is a new habit. It's learning to discipline this mind, right? By realizing the mind thoughts are out there and letting them float by and constantly coming back to what can I love about this? What can I appreciate? It's like, if you can learn to love or at least appreciate, start to enjoy the things that you used to get upset about, how much freedom would you have? How much more joy would you have? And I know people who got billions of dollars, I've coached them, who is like, holy shit, they live in scarcity all the time. One man, I'll never forget, he's screaming at his wife. I'm in the meeting, I'm in the house, and he's screaming at his wife because she spent some money on a bunch of outfits and stuff like that. And he's a multi-billionaire. He couldn't spend all his money in his lifetime. And then he's totally upset at his daughter who's in her 20s who spent some money too. And I'm like, I pulled him aside afterwards and I said, what do you do this for? And what do you do it for? And he's like, well, it's the principal thing. I said, no, the principal thing is, do you love these people and do you want them to have an abundant life when you don't have one loss, but you live like you're poor, And it's like, I finally got through to him. But so many people, that's why I say money doesn't change you. Money magnifies who you are. So you want to expand the depth of who you are and free yourself from suffering by just knowing it's a pattern of thought, and you can change the pattern of thought.
Plan Your Day by Marie Forleo.
No matter how late at night you go, before you wrap up, just take 4 minutes and really think through everything that you have to get done for the next day. So here's how I usually do it. First thing I do is I open up my calendar and I take a look at all the appointments that I have for the next day and the time that those appointments will take, like this. 1 o'clock, I got a team call that lasts 30 minutes. 3:30, I have a Marie TV script review that'll take about an hour, and then I have a 6:30 spin class. Then I write down all the projects and the tasks that I need to get done, and I give myself a little bit of an estimate about how long I think each project or task will take. Of course, these are estimates. Sometimes I get things done faster, and sometimes they take longer, but at least I give myself a baseline to work off of. 9 to 10:30 a.m., I'm going to write a first draft of a sales video script. I'm going to give myself about 90 minutes. Then from 11:30 to 12:30, I'm going to review my social media schedule, give myself an hour for that. And from 2:30 to 3, I'll do a little email clear out. And finally, I make a new little section at the bottom of my notepad with personal things that I need to handle for that day. For example, get Nanny a birthday card and mail it. That'll take me about 30 minutes. Order more Kuma food, all of 10 minutes. And book a haircut for the next month, takes me about 5 minutes. Boom! That is it. Super simple. So when I do this, it informs exactly when I need to be at my desk and working, which tells me when I need to wake up to have enough time to do my little morning routine and get everything done without feeling rushed or stressed. The worst thing you can do is wake up in the morning and go straight to your computer and open up email, and then all of a sudden you're pretending to work all day, and at the end of the day, nothing important ever got done. Nobody's perfect, and of course, not every day goes as planned, but this system gives you the best chance possible at making sure that your most important projects get done, especially if you have an inconsistent schedule.
Don't Hit the Snooze Button by Jocko Willink.
Don't press snooze. Snooze doesn't help, by the way. Snooze is one of those things that just simply
Snooze
doesn't
is a dream
help.
killer.
Yeah, it's like
Press the snooze button and kill your dreams. That's the answer.
Yeah, it's like a complete.
You think it's going to help you dream more, but it's not. It's going to destroy your dreams.
It's
Don't touch it.
whole psychological
Get
trick.
away from it.
If you press
Stop.
snooze, the thing that you think pressing the snooze helps you with, like, oh, let me just get that extra 8 minutes of sleep. That 8 minutes of sleep doesn't give you any more energy, by the way.
18 seconds. There's an 18-second window in the morning when your alarm goes off. That sucks. It's about 18 seconds. So 18, like the alarm goes off and you touch it.
Yeah.
The next 18 seconds are like hard. That's when you have to use maximum effort to clear the gravitational pull of your pillow. If you can get away from those 18 seconds, then you're okay. You just get away from the pillow. It's pulling you in, like with some tractor beam.
Oh, yeah.
You need to get away from that problem. So the 18 seconds, and once you're up and you're moving, you're good.
Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite productive habit or favorite speaker. I'm going to leave you with this quote right here. Productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. Thank you so much for watching. If you want some more motivation and inspiration, I recommend clicking this video right over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.